Hi everybody, my name is Jan Dufour and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Today we're going to make this pretty card. Now I used this set and the washi tape that goes with it, not on my last video but on the one before. And I'm going to show you at the end just another way to use this again that I kind of not discovered. I'm sure everybody's done it, but figured out while I was doing this one. These are just colors and we're using the same stamp set. One big stamp set does all of those. And then I decided to use this statement here, hoping your day blooms with happiness, just because I like that one. And so we use that. So to make this, we need an A2 card that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'll go ahead and, whoops, I need my other piece. I need the other piece. Where's my, oh, I got a small one that I didn't cut out. Well, there you have it. That's not gonna work. We're gonna have to cut one. Let me see if this is the right size. This is Pretty Peacock, and it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, I believe. Yes, 5 1/8. And then we need the basic white one, a little bit smaller than that, and I hadn't cut it down apparently, or I used it or did something with it. This is going to be 3 3/4. Oh, maybe I did. By 5. Okay, that doesn't work out. Let me try that again. Because, oh, maybe this one's too small. You know what? There are days, aren't there? There just are. And then this one, well, that should work. I'm being weird. Let me see. Yeah, it's a little bit too long. I'm going to take 1/8 off, and if I can't wing that, I'll just figure something out. Figure something else out. And of course my blade popped out. There we go. Holy moly. Here we go. Will that fit now? Apparently I'd cut it one way. It's a very narrow border, which makes it interesting sometimes. But I didn't want the darker color to kind of overwhelm the rest of the card. So let's try that again. I'm going to put some glue on it and paste. This one, again, the measurements are all on the project sheet. If you are watching me on YouTube, you go to my website, stampmesilly.com, and I'll have that below. And go to this date, and you will get the project sheet. You can download it from there. All right, and then I'm going to stamp this, and I would advise you to stamp it before you start putting the flowers down. You could really put it anywhere you want. You could put it in the middle. I put it at the top, but really that's kind of up to you. You could put it down here. I think I'm just going to stick to where I had it. Up here. So pretty. Close that up since I don't need it anymore. So then I stamped, well, whoops, I guess I can put that on now, just for fun. So the gluing will be almost over. Again, this is a very small border. It's about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, but I just think it brings out the white and the flowers that are on it. And then I'll go ahead, this is the inside, because the Lost Lagoon cardstock for the A2 card is dark. It would be difficult to write on it. So you can put an inside message here. You could stamp something. You could use a little flower that you have left over down on the bottom to decorate the inside of the card. Make that lovely. All right, now let's get to the flower part, the fun part. This is not a class on coloring. I've mentioned before, I'm not really an artist, but I do like to color. So I'm just going to show you how I color. Let me know if you want a class on the coloring ways that we can do things. We've got colored pencils and using our ink pads and regular markers. And of course, these are Stampin Blends. But basically, I don't pay a lot of attention to what I'm coloring. I do try to stay inside the lines most of the time. And I'll do these ones too, just to show you a little bit different look. All right. And you'll notice it's all the same color and they're kind of overlapping. And if you look at things, usually those types of things that overlap have, and I'm just going to leave it open for a minute, have some shading. So what I'm going to do is shade along the edge there. Then I'm just going to kind of do a little dot like that and a little bit more in the bigger one. And you'll notice I'm not really blending anything yet. A lot of times you don't have to do any more blending. And that's because as the alcohol dries, which is fairly quick, you get some of the shading then. I knew this one wouldn't blend as well, so I'm just going to come back in and add a little bit of color next to it. Again, don't focus too much on it. That alcohol ink is going to just spread out a little bit. I'm doing a little bit lighter around to make it a little bit less noticeable. But as you can see, I didn't spend a lot of time coloring. And I guess to finish it up, I'll do the leaves. Same thing. Basically just coloring them in. The real magic happens when you cut this out and they're all cut out at the same time. That's the fun part. Well, actually, coloring's fun too, but you know what I mean. That's the magic, I guess I should say. And again, I think I'm not going to have to do much more than maybe a little bit of a line along the line. And then I'm just going to let that go. Here, I'm just going to put a little bit down here, make it pretty. Some of the bigger ones, I maybe pay a little bit more attention. I wouldn't bother with the smaller one. And I don't really have to do anything. I'm happy with that. So then the magic, because it's just one die. So I think I told you before, I start by putting it where I think I need it, up on top, and then you can see this is off. So then I'll do a little twisting, and then I'll probably shove it upwards a little bit and notice that it's still fine there. It's fine here. You should put it down in more than one spot just because it's so big. And my die machine is off to the side because my standing area is small. But you take it out and look, all your flowers and leaves are there. Of course, this is garbage. Throw that away. Get this out of our way. Whoops. We're going to just knock these over here. And then I'm going to basically use my other card for a template because I like the way it turned out. And if you are doing something like that, the easiest thing to do is take a picture of it. If you like the way it looks and you want to make more, it's easy if you take a picture and then you can figure out where everything goes. So I'm just turning these over so I can see them. And we'll start, I usually start in corners and edges so I can put whatever I want in the middle. It kind of determines the size. So we're going to put this one down here. You don't have to put very much glue on them. I'm going to do this corner. And like I said, if you have a picture of it, or you haven't given it away yet, or used it yourself, then it's kind of right there for you. And then we had this little one. Probably should put the one above it first, but pretty comfortable that this is going to fit. So we'll do that. You could stick a couple of them over the edge too. That would be fine. Then we got the big one here. If you were giving this card to someone rather than mailing it, you could use Stampin' Dimensionals, which I think would make it look just lovely. Give it dimension, as the name implies. Let's see, we used this long one and then stuck a flower on it. I don't know if they go together, but I decided they did. Right like that. Oh, I felt like I can't remember his name, the painter that used to use a paintbrush and had his own show. Just like that. If it makes you happy. Got a little bit too much paste on that. My trick is to kind of do that on something and then put it down. I got a little heavy-handed there. And then, what else do we have? We have this upside down. You can quit anytime you want. You can put as many or as few as you like. I don't think that necessarily more is better all the time. I just was trying to use up some of these flowers that I had colored, and I'm going to have leftovers. I'm going to show you a trick. Not a trick. Yeah, a trick. I'm sure it was done intentionally by Stampin' Up. It just didn't come to me immediately, so I was kind of amused when I thought, oh, look at that. That's cool. It involves the washi tape, if you can believe it. And hoping by now that you've it's gotten restocked. The washi was out, but I think it's back in. If it's not, it's going to be shortly. We now have a feature that if you want to order something and it's out of stock, you can request an email be sent to you when it's back in stock, which I think is pretty cool. Convenient. Because sometimes you forgot you wanted it and you go and look and it's too late because it's already gone. And see, I've done a little bit different here, so it's gonna fill it up a little bit differently. And do I want anything else? I don't think I do. I squeezed a few more in there and that's fine. All right, so there's your card. It's all finished up, very pretty, nice and solid. Let me show you something I discovered. Like I said, I'm sure it was intentional by Stampin' Up and I just didn't know. Well, let me show it to you. So this is colored. So I started off with the same way, stamped it on basic white, just like this, colored it up. And then before I cut it out, I took, let's see, where do I want to do that on? Well, I don't have anything colored. I'll color one more thing. Let's see, let me color, nope. I don't have that one anymore. This one? Yeah, let me color this one so you can see what it does. So it's, I don't want the big one. So it's very pretty all by itself, just colored. You can shade if you want, but if you do this particular thing, you don't need to shade because the shading's already done. And what it does is the washi tape has a semi-transparent look to it. So it's a very soft color. I'll give you an example in case you didn't see my other ones, but just using the individual flowers, they're kind of see-through, which is a very nice look. But I discovered that if you cut out the washi tape, like I explained a couple videos ago, you can then, because it's transparent, layer it on top. And oh my gosh, look at the magic. Let me see. So it's the same as this one here, but it's a totally different look. Isn't that beautiful? So you need the whole bundle. You need the stamp, the die, and the washi tape. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna move that aside. I'll use those somewhere else. But like I said, you can put one on the inside. It would look very cute. I might do that after I hang up. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you, again, are on YouTube, go to stampmesilly.com and get the project sheet, which I always have a project sheet there with the what I used for products and a picture of the card and how to cut things. If you have any questions or you want a catalog and don't already have a demonstrator, you can email me at jandufour@yahoo.com. And then if you see anything here that you like and you'd like to purchase, you can go to jandufour.stampinup.net. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to notify downstairs, give me a thumbs up, and maybe subscribe. Thanks. Bye.